Hi, welcome back to Game Room Crafts. I'm Kelly. This is my game room. Let's play. It's still spooky season. So I have here today a pair of molds that came together. This here is a jack-o'-lantern pumpkin. You can kind of see his face if you see just right. I don't know, can you see it? Anyway, him's got the smile and the eyes. I may be painting those in, I'm not sure. So that's the pumpkin. And this here, you can't tell because I flipped it inside out, is a ghost wearing a witch's hat. Now, the reason I flipped it inside out is because I am going to paint her hat. I'm going to paint it gold, and I mean orange, and I don't want, well, not paint, but brush. I'm going to brush her hat. I don't want all that powder to get down into the rest of the body because that would make cleanup a nightmare. So take a paper towel, and I'm going right up to the line of where the hat ends and the ghost begins. I'm just covering it. I think I'll put a piece of tape there just to help me keep it in place. And that way I don't have to worry about it shifting while I'm working on the hat. So I'm doing something that's different. We are making our jack-o'-lantern teal. I don't know if you've ever heard of the Teal Pumpkin Project, but basically what it does is that people who are providing treats on Halloween that are not food, so like little toys, trinkets, whatever, and they put those out for children who have food allergies, who, cannot be anywhere near chocolate, peanut butter, anything like that. So for our family, we have always participated in the Teal Pumpkin Project because the kid, when she was very, very little, they told us she was allergic to peanuts. So we were quite diligent about not letting her eat peanuts. Later on, it turns out she was not allergic to peanuts. When she was little, she was sensitive to peanuts. So she didn't have full-blown attacks, but she did have to carry an EpiPen just in case, because you never know when allergies are going to get worse. But then again, they also get better. You can outgrow your allergies. So we decided, because it was for her, I want to go trick-or-treating. I want to trick-or-treat. Okay, let's go trick-or-treating. The problem is we inspected all her gets anyway, but we had to be extra super diligent to make sure there was nothing with peanut in it. Also, I don't know if you ever noticed, but if you look at your plain old chocolate, it will say on the warning label that it is, processed in the same factory that did have peanuts. So peanut dust, whatever, can get into it. So you have to be careful. So, considering that, we always participated in the Teal Pumpkin Project. We would put out a little pumpkin that we had painted teal because we couldn't find one at the time. We had painted it teal. We put it out to let people know, and we had a sign that said that we participated in the Teal Pumpkin Project. We had treats that were available that were non-edible. So, please come join us. And so that's what we did. As she got older, we would have two separate treat bowls, one for the Teal Pumpkin Project and one for, the kids who were not allergic and could participate, in the normal Halloween treats. I didn't want any kids to be left out. So even though her allergy resolved itself, we wanted to make sure that all kids were able to participate in spooky season. Because, it's no fun if they can't participate. It's heartbreaking. Not just for them, for me. So we're painting our pumpkin teal. I said to the kid, well, what color should we make the hat for the ghost? Because I don't know what color to make it, because supposedly the ghost will fit in the pumpkin if we want it to. Kid says to me, I have no idea. I said, what? You're my personal color wheel. What am I supposed to do if you don't know? Google is my friend. I Googled it. I looked it up. They said that teal, the opposite side of the color wheel, is orange. Who knew? I love it. Perfect. Yay. Perfect Halloween colors. So we're going to be painting her hat. Actually, this is tangerine, which, I have orange. Tangerine looks better to me. So we're going to paint that hat. Tangerine. I'm just using a fluffy brush because it's kind of a big hat. I'm going to come down inside the hat first and try to get that, because it comes to a point, conical hat, And I'm just coming up to that line, and I'm trying real hard not to go below it, because even though I taped my paper towel, it moved. So I'm brushing towards the center of the hat. Down the side and towards the center of the hat to stay away from the rest of the ghost. Because you can see here, her arm is already visible. I'm kind of trying to make sure I burnish in that point really well, because I dropped powder in there. I just don't want a big clump of powder to come out when I'm going in with my brush and just kind of twisting it and trying to get any white spots in the hat. I like this color. I don't think I ever used this color before. Interesting. Okay, so that's that. Now I can take the tape off my paper towel because it didn't really help anyway. Get this corner here and come up with my fingernail and go right up to that line and make sure that there's no orange coming down into our ghost. See right there? That's the ghost's eyes. I see how close it is to the hat. I don't want orange eyes on my ghostie. Okay, so I'm going to try really hard to flip this. Before I flip it, I'm going to put my gloves on because I don't want to mess up where I just got through rubbing. Okay, so that is that for the tangerine. Clean off my brush. So what I do is I rub it on my silicone cleaning mat, and then I go over on a white piece, and that's okay. I mean, yeah, that's good. Okay, so that's clicked closed. Don't want to take the chance that I'm going to get orange on my teal pumpkin because I have to flip him inside out too. But before I do that, I'm gonna, I knew it. See, I got orange inside the body when I flipped her. That's disappointing. I'm gonna use my finger and go in with my paper towel, and I can kind of see through the mold. It is helpful. Yeah, see what I did? I got some orange on her face. I knew it. I just had a feeling. I think that's it. I think that's it. I hope that's it. Good gracious. Nope. I got some over by her arm. How I did that, I will never know. Okay. I think that's as good as we're going to get. Oh, wait a minute. What did I do? That's horrendous. Okay. So the paper towel is not working because it's coming apart. So I'm going to use my baby wipe because that works. Baby wipe. Yep. Look at that. Oh, I just cleaned it. How could you do this to me? Get away from the arm, please. We don't need an orange ghost. You know, there has to be a better way. What it is, I don't know. Yes, I'm being a little anal about it because I want it to be good. This was something that was an important part of a kid's childhood, and I want it to be good. The Teal Pumpkin Project is very important to us. Even on the years that we could not be here at our home because we went trick-or-treating at the mall or at a friend's house. Look at that, fuzzy. We would leave out the bowl with the sign letting them know Teal Pumpkin Project. And you know, I was always afraid that if I did that, somebody would come by and take all the goodies just one time. But they didn't. We actually came home and there, you know, obviously some stuff had been taken, but they never totally raided one person raid the bowl. So that was really good. Okay. Pumpkin. This is Teal from Resin. This was Tangerine. I'm not sure where it was from. If anybody knows where this came from, please let me know because I don't know where I got it from. I know I got it when I purchased something else. It came as a extra. So if anybody knows what brand this is or whatever, because I actually really like the colors. There was like a whole bunch of them. Please let me know in the comments below. Okay, so I was going to not paint her eyes and mouth, but I don't know that I'll be able to do that because of the way it sticks out. So I think what I'll do is mark it with a pen. I know this is not going to stay, but if this is on the silicone, hopefully it'll stop the teal from going on, because usually whatever touches your silicone first is what you see. So hopefully it'll just prevent my silicone from going in that recess. Prevent my teal from going in that recess. Yeah, that's what I meant. Teal. And the mouth. And I will go over it again after we demold it with the better pen. But this is a long fine tip, so it makes it easier to do this edge. When I demold it, I suspect it's going to be a deep recess. So I will probably have to use either something like this or a brush tip. Okay, I'm going to take a pointy Q-tip. Just going to go wherever there's pen marks that I don't want black on. So like to the side of the mouth and eyes. anywhere. Black is that black does not need to be because it's going to be teal. And I think, see, I smudged it. Oh well, like I said, we're gonna go over it again. So I'm not super worried about it. Okay, now the teal. And I'm gonna do everything. The entire pumpkin and the inside. There goes Pepsi because the hamster's home. He did. He said hello. Pepsi also says I love you. And look at that. I got teal everywhere. I got teal powder. Wow. Everywhere. Stamp. Nice. I can do that. All right. Hi, Peps. You excited Daddy's home? Oh. Every day the hubster comes home from work and Pepsi runs and grabs a toy to show him. Look what I have. Look at my toy. I'm so happy. And he actually shares it with him. He'll let the hubster take it. Me and the kid, not so much. He'll show it to us, but he won't let us have it. It's almost like, look what you cannot have. For us, it's that's what you get for leaving me. For Daddy, it's I'm so glad you're home. So yeah, I like this color. But I swear it's a little light. But this is teal. The other one that I have that is close to this color would be like the turquoise. But I figured I'd give this a shot because it says it's the Teal Pumpkin Project. I'm going to use teal, but it's a little light to me. That's okay. I know what I'll do. I'll pour the pumpkin. I was going to pour it all in one color, but since it's a little light to me, I'll go ahead and make the resin for the pumpkin teal. And then that way, anything I missed or anything I feel is too light, it'll be covered. So that's that. That was fairly easy. Once I got the black covered, I'll clean it up for now. Clean up all this extra powder so it doesn't get everywhere. Now for our ghostie, I'm going to just pour her in. I think I'm just going to pour her in glitz, which is that white, extra fine, holographic glitter from Recollections. And I might put a little bit of white extra fine glitter. That's not the holographic, just to help it get that white. Oh, wow, I got teal everywhere. More than the pumpkin. Maybe I might not have been as careful with the teal. Yep. Okay. Yeah, I can always wash that. All right. So now, I don't know how much resin this takes. It didn't say. I wish everybody followed Let's Resin's lead and put how much resin their molds take somewhere on their mold, but it doesn't. So I'm going to guess. And I'm going to guess, I think I'm going to make up 4 ounces. And I will split it and I'll do the ghost first. Once she's done, I can change that glitz and white to turquoise by adding in the mica powder. So I think that's what I'm going to do. That is the safest bet for what I'm going to do. So I'm going to mix up the resin and I will be right back. Okay, and we're back. That's mixed up. I have about a minute left that I have to do. So this is the glitz by Recollection. And it is an extra fine glitter. It looks white in the bottle, but when you mix it in, you really lose the white. And I see a lot more blue than anything else, but I'm not complaining. I like it. But I want my ghost to be white and sparkly. So I'm going to add sparkling white, my CT sparkling white. I thought about doing the crushed crystal, but I would have to use quite a bit, and I have a bigger bottle of the sparkling white, so why not use that? Right? We use 2 hefty scoops, and I don't know where this spoon came from, but I love it. Okay, I'm going to try mixing that in, and if I need to add more, I will. You can always add, but you cannot subtract. I don't want to see my paddle. I want it to be opaque. I'll mix it for about a minute. So the lighting in my room is not so good. So I have these lights that I stick everywhere with magnets, right? Well, I discovered that if I put it over my cup, I can see when things are not mixed in really well. Much better than if I just mix without it. This is a little bit of extra lighting for myself. This is helpful. I'm back a minute. Now, I can still see my paddle, which that's not what I want. I want it to be opaque. I could add just white, but I don't want to do that. I'm going to do another scoop of the CT Sparkling White. This is what I used when I could not get Unicorn Arts Crushed Crystal. This is pretty good. It does the job. Now this one says it's a pearlescent pigment powder, features sparkle crystal luster. I don't know what that means, but I know that it works. Yeah, I think that's better. I can already see that it's better. I'm making sure to go up against the side of the cup so any clumps might get worked in. And I'm not being real delicate about this because this is going into the bubbler. Now, I'm pouring my ghost first, and when said ghost is done, I will color the remainder teal, because then that way it's going to sparkle too. I mean, it would anyway because it's mica powder, but you know. Okay, so this is going for its trip through the debubbler, and I'll be right back. Okay, so our ghost mixture has been through the bubble machine, and I just added 4 drops of Elmer's glue, clear Elmer's glue, because this is 4 ounces of resin, and I didn't want all of my glitter to sink. I don't think it will because it's extra fine. Plus, the sparkling white is more of a mica powder than it is a glitter, but there you go. So that was 4 drops, and yet that does not seem as gloopy as it normally comes out. Well, I mean, it is a little gloopy. All right, well, it is what it is at this point. Scrape my stick. All right, our ghostie, if you remember, has a face and hands. So I'm going to come up right above the arms, and then I'm going to squeeze. Try not to dislodge the powder in the bottom. So ghost first. Hopefully I have enough for both. If not, oh well, I'll make up some more. So let's fill those arms in. I'm going to stop right there. Give her a squish. All right, that's her. Now, the pumpkin. And you know what? I think I have more than enough for this, but give it a shot. Gonna go down in the bottom first and give it a squish so that if there's bubbles, they will hopefully dislodge. So you see, I'm just putting my fingers inside and then squeezing around it. And then I'm going to continue to fill. You know what? I'm an idiot of phenomenal proportions. I was going to make this teal, and now I think it's too late. And you know what? It's never too late. I'm gonna pour it out. I am. I'm gonna pour it out, and I'm gonna drop some teal right into my mixture. That may have been a bit too much. We shall see. Again, wet. Get it all wet first before you turn on your, if you're using a hand mixer, get it all wet first before you turn it on. Okay, let's hope this works. Take 2. And again, I'm going to stop and I'm going to squeeze around the bottom. And I'm rolling it over by where the base was so that hopefully it will stop any bubbles that was going to come up there. And just like the ghost, I'm going to dome it because I know there will be shrinkage. Hey, I have some leftover teal. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour some turtles because I said so. I made these molds the other day and I tried them and they worked. So I'm going to make a keychain because I used the big one to make a magnet, which was fine. But I thought the little keychain one was very cute. I'm going to make sure I get some alcohol down in his head and up in his tail. Now, the only difference between the mama and the baby turtle is the baby turtle has a pointier tail. Mama's is like a stub. Pour it slowly so it fills the head, and hopefully we don't get any bubbles. And I'm going to pour her hide. Because she's hand cut, I didn't want to dome her. Oh, there, see, now that's too much. Now I know she's going to shrink, but not that much. So I'm going to take some out. And I might have enough for the mama turtle. I think I do. Okay, I think she could take a little bit more of this one. Not that I think it'll stay there. I definitely think it'll move. So maybe I'll just drop it in the center and see where it goes. I am watching that head because I can see through the mold. So I'm trying to see if I'm going to get a bubble there. Ah, that was just a step too far, Cal. Step too far. Now I'm going to have 10 million hours of cleanup. But I mean, okay, whatever. It is what it is. If I bring it back to center and I take some out, it should level out as long as I get it off of those pieces where I don't want it, which is between the two fins and behind by the tail. I know that seems stupid because I just took out a bunch, but I took out too much. So then what I would end up having to do is fill it later or grind it down a lot, which, I mean, granted, I'm going to rough it up so that my magnet can stick, but I'm not planning on doing a lot of grinding. I just wanted to take my fingernail file and rub it over to give me a rough surface that glue could grab onto for the magnet. Okay, so I think I'm gonna stick with that. Leave it alone. That seems good. It might be able to take just a little bit more. Our ghost is fine, although she does have a little bubble. I can see it. See if I can get it to go away with some alcohol. Hey, no alcohol resistant bubbles. We don't like those. Pop. Well, I just saw some orange powder, so I'm guessing that came up from the hat, which means we may have orange streaks in our ghost, but at this point, there's nothing we can do about it. I'm going to put the rest of this in my scrap mold, and we will see you on demold. See you in a bit. And we're back, and these are done-ish. They're still going to be a little soft, but done enough for me to demold. So I'm going to take them out of the molds, check them out, and see, hopefully, if there's anything I need to do, like trimming or... Now, this did not shrink as much as I thought it was going to, so that makes me happy. Because when I did it yesterday, I guess I didn't fill it up enough, and there was a lot of shrinkage. Now, there is shrinkage there in that fin. Surprisingly enough, that's the exact fin that I was like, okay, this one needs a little more, right? It still does, apparently. Baby turtle. Yesterday, baby turtle went through the heating box. Now, she still is a little soft, but I'm going to take that. I mean, these are like resin paper, and it's, you know, between and at the very edge. But if I pull it off now, then I won't have to deburr it later. And I'm literally just going up against it and pulling it off. I'm not trying to cut it because it'll rip. Up against it, put my thumb on it, yank it off. And there she is. Isn't she pretty? Now, she's still a little soft. They're all going to be, but she's very, very pretty. And now the big turtle. She needs a little cleanup. Clean up on aisle turtle. That's not too bad. It's not as bad as the last time. So there is the mama turtle and the baby turtle. Now, these molds, they actually have, if you look really closely, you can see in the fins that there are carvings. And I'm going to wait till they really, really firm up. And then I'm going to try putting some paint on it and seeing if it makes those carvings stand out more. I mean, I like it the way it is. Oh, I really like the teal with the glitz. This was teal, glitz, and CT sparkling white. Okay, I'll leave them alone until tomorrow. And then they will be hard as a rock. Let's do our ghost first. Now, she shrank quite a bit. And I kind of knew that, but you saw, I very much filled her. This mold is super soft. This is actually a candle mold, so our ghost is matte. But see how soft she was coming down? I love that. No difficulty whatsoever. Hat is perfect. Now, eyes and mouth. Eyes and mouth. I like to use, when I need a brush tip, I like the Sharpie creative markers. There are others, I'm sure, that probably work just as good, if not better. But for me, I love the way the brush works on this. I see a few micro bubbles right where the hat and the ghost meet. And she has a micro bubble in her eye, so it kind of makes it look wonky. Well, I don't know. Let's see. If she has one on this side, she does. So that actually kind of works for me because it makes it look like she's looking down. And her hands are looking down. I'm going to take a little, actually, I'll take a micro brush because I don't need that big Q-tip. Don't need the big cotton swab. I got a little bit of black where I don't need it, and she's white, so it stands out. I'll wait till that alcohol dries and then go back and fix it. Yeah, I guess I should have just used the big one after all because I made a mess. Leave her alone. Walk away, walk away. Okay, let's pull out her pumpkin. Much trimming will be needed here. I did kind of overdome it, and I knew that. Figured if I can get it off before I actually take her out of the mold, it might help, but maybe not. I don't know. Okay. Loosen, 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 loosen. And pop. Oh, wow. I'm actually quite impressed with how that marker stayed in the eye. Because of the shape, I'm going to use my nipper instead of my little jewelry nipper. I have no idea what this is called, but that's what it does. It nips. And you've seen me do this before on other things. When it comes in at an angle like that, you just nip it on one side and then flip your nipper over and nip it on the other and meet in the center. It makes it much easier to get out what you didn't want there. So like I said, this is a matte mold and I kind of like it. This is actually a candle mold. And my intention was originally to use mixed mold, but I didn't have the colorant that I needed to make it teal. And I really desperately wanted it to be teal to represent our Teal Pumpkin Project. So you see that? That's much cleaner than it was. And I can do more after it cures up. And remember I said, if there were any spots, I'd come in after the fact and go over it again. And so here I am with my creative marker going in and getting anything that should be black. So this would be easy to do ahead of time, but since I did it with the resin, whatever I set in there before I pour the resin, that's permanent. So even though the creative marker is not really permanent, I mean, if you shot alcohol on it, it would run. Whatever's under it, that stuff's stuck. It's there where it's supposed to be. All those little nips go in there. Now, my understanding is, because you could put a tea light in there, no problem. If this was mixed mold, the original intent was I was going to make it mixed mold and I was going to actually make a candle in it. But because I wanted it to be teal, that didn't work out for me. I had to use the resin. Do not use open flames with resin. Just don't do it. It's not a good look. But look at that. That is what I found so cute when I saw this set. Now they do apparently sell another set where there is a ghost. I think the arms are out to the side and he's not wearing a hat, but this is just adorable. I really like that. I think it's cute. It's a cute addition to the spooky season and it helps represent our Teal Pumpkin Project. And it's just something that's just adorable. I just really, really like that. I really do. So thank you for joining us here in the game room. I'm so glad that you could be with us today. I hope you had fun and learned something new. I know I sure did. We will see you next week. I'm not sure what we're doing. Actually, I am sure what we're doing. Next week is All Hallows Eve. And the hubster is helping me make the mold for what I want to use for our final project for spooky season. Hopefully, fingers crossed, because he and I are doing that this weekend and we're doing it off camera because the hubster doesn't like to be on camera. That's okay. He's not like me, not like the kid. Doesn't like to be the center of attention. That's okay. But yeah, that's what we're doing next week. And hopefully that works. We're doing that this weekend and hopefully it will be ready to go for next week's video. In the meantime, don't forget to play. See you soon.